Welcome to our ukulele tutorial for Freaks by Surf Curse. That's the one. We're going to have a basic version with just the chords. And then we're going to have one that's a little bit more intricate with some finger picking. Now we have a ukulele here in standard tuning with a high G, C, E, A. Standard tuning for any soprano or tenor ukulele. Chords! The chords that we need are going to be A major and F sharp minor. First chord from top to bottom, middle finger, second fret, top string, or G string. Next up we have C string, first fret with our pointer finger. Next we have E, or our third string, and that's open. Last we have A, which is also going to be open. That's our first chord, A major. When we transition to the second and only other chord in the verse, all we do, keep our hands exactly where they are. We put our ring finger on the second fret of that E string, totally changing the chord into an F sharp minor. A major, F sharp minor. So, as we were saying, the verse is only two chords, A major, F sharp minor. Let's talk about the chorus. The chorus introduces a third chord and the last chord that we need to remember. So what we have here is a D major 7. We have to get all four strings, preferably with two fingers. You could call it a bar chord. So that means one finger is holding down two or more strings. So for this we need, I'll just give you the frets and the numbers here. So we have second fret on G, second fret on C, second fret on E, and fourth fret on A. If we strum that, that's the starting chord of the chorus. The second chord that we need for the chorus is one that we've already touched on. So that's going to be our A major. So just two fingers. And we variate between those two chords throughout the chorus. And then again, we have a D major 7 and just an A major. Now, if some of you are having a very hard time holding down more than one string with your pointer finger, if tension is the issue, if you can't quite hold the strings down hard enough, in some cases it might be okay to also stack your middle finger on top of your pointer finger to give you a little more leverage, so that instead of this dull sound where the notes aren't ringing out, maybe you can hold down the strings hard enough to get, and your middle finger isn't really being used for this portion, so hopefully you'll still be able to use your ring, or more likely your pinky finger, to hit that fourth fret on the bottom string. So if you have to do one of these where you take your middle finger and you stack it to hold that bar chord down, so be it. If you do that enough, maybe eventually your pointer finger will get strong enough to just do it on its own. Or maybe you just need a ukulele that has less string tension. And again, the second chord we've already touched on, super easy. So once we have those three chords down, we can play pretty much the entire song. So now that we've gone through the chords, let's talk about the lick, the melody. The melody. So that would be the there's a number of different ways that you could play it here, but for our purposes, if you do want to combine the chords and the melody, the lick that we're playing, I would recommend playing it like this. I'm going to use my pinky finger because that's kind of what I'm doing when I combine them. But if you just want to learn the melody, that's not super important. Starting at the 4th fret of the A string, our bottom string, then open, bottom string, 4th fret, E string, right back to the open fret, that bottom string. We do that twice. Then we play the open E string 2 times. 2nd fret, C string 2 times. And we repeat the whole process. I'm trying to take my hands out of the picture so we can see as clearly as possible. And there we have the main lick. So if you want to do a duet, you can have someone playing the chords. And someone playing that melody. So let's move into the other section. Everything. Now that we have the melody as well as the chords, let's put them together. There's 2 ways to do this. One is easier than the other. So let's just strum through the verse and see what happens. So that would be the verse, our 2-chord verse, where we start on A, and we go to F sharp minor. We're using our pinky to outline the melody that we're going to be playing. The more nuanced way to do this, I'm going to be using the same chords, but we're going to be doing some finger picking to give the overall tone a little bit more life. Especially if you're not singing, this might be the way to go. So that way we're giving the chords their own space and the melody a lot more space. And we're kind of using the same technique. The only difference is our right hand, rather than just strumming up and down, you're using your fingers to exemplify the melody. If you made it this far, let's talk about strumming through the chorus. Now we're going to go back to that bar chord, that D major 7, 2, 2, 2, 4. So I'll play through this real slow for you. If you can play your way through that strumming section with the chords and the melody, you're probably on your way to being able to do your own fingerstyle rendition of it. I'm not too strict on how you do this with your right hand. The main thing is that you exaggerate the melody while keeping the chord going, so it sounds like there's a rhythm and a lead section. Give it a little bit more life. So what I found is my middle finger on this particular, on my right hand middle finger for this particular song, tends to exaggerate the melody when it can. So there's that first pluck, which is just the top and bottom string. My pointer finger tends to do a lot of the strumming in between notes. However, with our fingers, I tend to use my thumb, my pointer, and my middle. And what I'm looking to do, especially with my pointer and my middle, exaggerate the melody. Just going to try and play through this verse part one more time again for you real slow. Let's see if we can get a feel for how our fingers might want to move to get the whole song coming together. So now let's talk about the chorus. Again, our right hand's just kind of finding any way that it can to exaggerate the melody over the chords. So again, for the chorus, the first chord especially, our pointer finger's kind of static, just hanging out, barring those notes. So do your best. Typically my middle finger is handling a lot of this. Find the melody, chase it down. Find a nice rhythm for your right hand that you can do kind of unconsciously, so that your right hand and your left hand can work together to put together that melody over the chords you're doing. So I'll play the chorus real slow. Big stretch. So the goal is keeping our left hand kind of as stationary as possible. So even though we're hitting kind of a lot of frets, our fingers don't have to move too much. We're not doing a whole lot of finger gymnastics just to keep the groove going here. So hopefully if you can strum your way through this, slowly you can start to eke out those notes that make the melody and figure out how to make them more prominent. Everyone has a different way of doing this. Some people use 2 fingers on their right hand, some people use 3, some people use 4. It's just a matter of getting a feel for the chords, getting a feel for the melody, taking as much time as you need to put 2 and 2 together. So the way that I play it, it's probably not going to be the exact same way that you play it, but it's a good start. Thank you for coming to get the gist of this song. Like and subscribe for more of these unorthodox ukulele videos, and we'll see you next time.